Okay, a very warm afternoon to everyone present in this Google Meet. Virtually, we are going to today know about this. What is exactly this orific meter, and what is the parameter that we are going to use? That is basically the coefficient of discharge. So, while studying this, the parameter we will be using is the coefficient of discharge. Now, the first thing is we will take baby steps because according to me and my group's thinking, the baby steps will help us get concept better. So first of all, we will know that what is the basics of orific meter, what are the basic definitions. Then we will go for the working and what the things work in orific meter. Then we will go for the how we are going to perform the experiment. Then we will come to know what are the observations we are going to note it down, and how are we going to calculate things. And then at the last, the thing which will be interesting, that will be the comparison of orific meter and venturimeter. So now what are the terms that you should understand before presenting, means going for performing this experiment. So now this is the differential pressure measuring principle, coefficient of discharge, and vena contracta. So now let us get into the first term, that is differential pressure measurement principle. Now what does this actually means? So what does this actually means? When we get into this, we can say that pressure is dropped across a proportion, obstruct proportion. So now that speed, flow speed or the flow rate, that will be proportional to it. But how is it proportional? It is proportional to the square. So the pressure drop is proportional to the flow rate square. Now next term, that is coefficient of discharge. What is this actual coefficient of discharge? We are calculating things theoretically as well as we are going to calculate things practically. And when we take the ratio of it, then we can say that we are then the term or efficiency, it or more or the less in thermodynamics language, the term which we calculate is efficiency, and here we are calculating coefficient of discharge. So this is what our coefficient of discharge is. Now coming to the very new term which we did in the last practical, now that is vena contracta. What is this vena contracta actually? This term is specifically related to orific meter. And when we talk about vena contra, it is a means you could say that it is a fluid stream of diameter. It means going for the basic terms, a fluid's velocity is maximum at a point. And why is it maximum? Because there the cross sectional area will be minimum, and this point is known as vena contracta. Now further we will go into orific meter. What is it actually? Connect next slide. What is an orific meter? So now it is, yes, obviously it is a basic thing that it is an instrument used in a fluid mechanics, whereas we have another instrument, venturimeter. Now we need to know that why we use orific meter and what is venturimeter. Will come across differences and stuff. But let's now, we learned venturimeter. Now let's learn what is orific meter. Then we will compare them. So what is orific meter? An orific meter is an equipment that is used to measure flow rate. Now here, how we are going to measure the flow rate of fluid using differential pressure principle. The definition which we talked about earlier, the same we are going to use it. Now it consists of a plate, pressure tappings, and a meter tube, which
When a liquid or gas whose flow rate is to be determined is passed through an orifice meter, there is a drop in the pressure between the inlet section and the outlet section. This drop in pressure can be measured using a differential pressure measuring instrument, which we can see in the diagram. Since this differential pressure is in direct proportion to the flow rate as per the Bernoulli's equation, hence the differential pressure instrument can be configured to display the flow rate instead of the differential pressure. Next, I'll be explaining the construction and the working of the orifice meter. So an orifice meter includes an arrangement which includes an orifice plate that has a diameter d naught, which is less than the pipe diameter d. It also consists of two tappings. One of the tappings is at a distance of 1 diameter upstream, where the flow is almost uniform, and the other is at a distance half a diameter downstream, right over here, where the vena contracta exists. Now, due to the difference in the diameter of the orifice plate, the flow from an upstream section where it is uniform adjusts itself in such a way that it contracts until the section downstream where the vena contracta exists is reached. After that, it expands to fill the passage of the pipe. Considering the fluid to be ideal and the downstream pressure tapping to be at the vena contracta, we can apply the Bernoulli's theorem and obtain a differential head. The main job in measuring the flow rate with the help of an orifice meter is to find out accurately the value of the coefficient of discharge at the operating condition. Let's see what the flow in orifice meter looks like. Right over here, due to the obstruction, we can see that the flow is interrupted, and here we obtain a vena contracta.
As my friends have already explained how or why we perform this experiment, now it is time for us to understand how we perform the experiment in the laboratories. And for it, I would ask Kanak to please skip to the next slide where we can see the setup of the orifice meter. As we can see in the setup, there is a tank. First of all, according to the procedures, we will fill the supply tank and switch on the power supply. Then we'll adjust the flow rate through the wall. That is, we'll keep it either 50% or 100%. Then we'll open the corresponding walls and get the head reading in manometer. Then we note down the readings. We operate the butterfly valve, which is used to control the velocity of the flowing liquid, and note down the time taken to rise 10 centimeter in height, water height. Then we repeat this procedure for several different values and note down the readings.
These are some of the formulas which will be used during observation, and some specifications are given to us, which is pipe diameter is given, orifice inlet size is given, throat size is given, and measuring tank is given. So next slide. So during observation, first we calculate the readings with different flow rates, 100%, 75, and so on. So first we calculate the pressure difference for each flow rate. Then we calculate the time taken to the rise of 10 centimeter. Then we calculate the actual discharge, which is equal to volume of measuring tank upon time. Volume is area into height. Then we calculate the theoretical discharge, which is A1, A2 into root 2 GH upon A1 square minus A2 square, where A1 and A2 are inlet and throat areas of pipe. Then we calculate the coefficient of discharge, which is equal to Q actual upon Q theoretical. Then after calculating for each flow rate, we calculate the mean coefficient of discharge.
So our practical work is done, our theoretical calculations are done. So what's left is the resultant conclusion. As you can see from the table in the above slide, we can conclude that the average coefficient of discharge is 0.46, and it is pretty much low. So as PK explained it, coefficient of discharge can be considered as efficiency. So if we consider the efficiency of an orifice meter, it is very low when compared to Venturi meter. As you can see in the graph, as you can see in the graph, the Venturi meter's graph is very high and orifice meters is low, whatever the flow rate you take. So it means that the efficiency of Venturi meter is high, but for the orifice meter it is low, but not very much low. Okay, connect previous slide please. And when it comes to the differences between orifice meter and Venturi meter, no, connect before slide, not the after. Yes, when it comes to the differences, first thing, as an engineer, we need to make a point on economy. Orifice meter is more economically profitable, whereas Venturi meter is a bit costlier than orifice meter. But whereas you come to the efficiency, Venturi meter has high efficiency because of its low head losses. But in orifice meter, we have high head losses due to the vena contracta. That part we have already understood in the before slides. So due to that, eddy currents are being formed when eddy currents are formed when there is a sudden contraction or a sudden expansion of a fluid. So due to that eddy currents, more mechanical energy is being consumed. So we can say high head losses. So it leads into low efficiency. And when compared to the sizes of the instruments, venturimeter is in larger size, or efficimeter is smaller compared to venturimeter. And can I go to the last slide, please? Yes, the next slide. So as you can see in the slide, the average coefficient of discharge is 0.46. It may vary from 0. The range is between 0 to 1, but it might not cross above 0.8 because it defines that the instrument we are using is highly efficient. But in the case of venturimeter, we can expect high values, but in case of orifice meter, we can't expect high values of coefficient of discharge. And it is easy to install and maintain because it is very small and we don't have that much complications in it, and it offers a very less pressure drop.